Welcome to Thriving Tribesmen. My name is Kuri, your host, and I'm excited to be making this episode. So, as we're going towards the last week of Reignited Men for this bunch of guys, I'm finding myself feeling a little bit sad that I won't be talking to these guys. In fact, I'm actually reconsidering not because I generally got an open call Monday to Friday. And have calls, so I speak to these guys pretty much almost every single day. So they've been part of my life for the past 8 weeks, and I'm finding it very difficult to let go. But part of it is because a lot of them we're now finding this sort of new groove. There's been a massive learning lesson for me. When we initially started, we were just focused on the sex bit and thinking about this is what you need to do in order to move from sexless to sexual success. And to a certain extent, we've managed to do that. But the focus wasn't more on the tactic of how do you have more sex within the relationship. And these are the different things that you need to do in order to achieve that. It was more about getting to them to realize that the sex is a byproduct of becoming a specific type of person. And this has been probably the biggest lesson for me, but more importantly, a lesson for them. And it's the fact that it's shifted the whole entire thing. And I was listening to a story yesterday, and this story really changed probably my perspective on life and everything. And it was about this Navy SEAL. And they talked about this Navy SEAL that he went to Afghanistan. And while he was in Afghanistan, the Taliban were using children as suicide bombers. So they'll put these rucksacks that are for children, and they'll put these improvised explosives, or these IEDs, and they'll get the children to run to the soldiers. And because they're children, they would seem non-threatening, and then they'll explode these as soon as they get to the children. So as one of these guys is walking as in a troop, there's always the guy who's at the back who's going to be making sure that there's no threats that are happening to the group. So one of these guys was walking, making sure there's no threats. And the day before, the afternoon before that, they'd seen some improvised explosives within a child's bag, and they managed to disarm this explosive. So they already knew what the bag looks like and the straps, I would imagine. And as he was watching guard at the back, all of a sudden he sees these two girls running towards him, and then he takes the safety off the gun. He takes aim at these children. And as he's making aim at these children, he's telling them to stop, he's commanding them to stop. And he knows at some point he's going to have to make that choice to pull the trigger and take out these children so he can save his brothers. And luckily, at some point when he was just about to pull the trigger, these girls stop. They go, continue, everybody's safe. And they managed to get, but that whole experience changed his entire world. And as the tour came to an end, came back to the United States, sold his house, sold everything, and all he could think about was going back and freeing all these civilians that are out there. And it's weird because I'm talking about this story, and you think of the shit that's going on in Gaza Strip right now in Israel. And if you're listening to this, even years from now, this is 2023. There's been an invasion from the Hamas. It's a terrorist group. They've gone into Israel and they've captured Israelis, and they've captured them as hostages, and they're slaughtering people. So it's situation. This will be an ideal situation for this guy because there's a lot of innocent people that are being put to death over some political agenda. So anyways, he was so moved by this that in that instant and I'm talking back to this guy, it almost killed these two girls, and he could not let it go. And it completely changed his entire worldview. He thought about, how do I free more people like this? And as soon as he got to America, he finished his contract with the Navy SEALs, and then he started enlisting himself to charity places where he can go and help other people and do this. And the story became famous because he then went back to Iraq, and he was part of the Iraqi forces, so he was supporting them, supporting the medics, and then to the point where there's one point when people got captured, and then they started massacring people, these Taliban people. And while they're doing that, there's a time when they went to investigate where people were being slaughtered, because apparently there's like lots of people. Then he found this little girl that was hiding, and there was a pile of dead bodies, and then they had to coordinate a rescue mission. And while he was doing so, they managed to rescue. And I'm trying to wrap this up pretty quickly. So he managed to rescue this, but there was somebody taking pictures, and for the first time, pictures were now being sent to America. So where they were seeing this guy who's they were calling him a rogue SAS specialist, and he wasn't rogue. He was somebody who just volunteered to go and help people. And I'm saying this story because this is a guy who had found his dragon to slay, and this is one of the most gifted human beings because he's figured out his purpose in life. And generally, when you don't have a purpose, one of the things that you start focusing on is the things that will try and give you validation. So you find yourself wanting validation within sex. Now, I'm not saying that's a wrong thing to find validation in sex within a relationship with your relationship, but that has to be contrasted with an insane passion to find your purpose, the reason that you're born. And I know some of you guys might not believe in God or in Christianity or anything, but every single human being has got a purpose. Like for me, I know my purpose. I've always known my purpose was to help men, but it's only up until recently that I really, really discovered my real purpose was to, and the fact that we've got Reignited Men is to really start lighting the fire inside men, not only just to be attractive to their partners, but to become community leaders. If I can make you a community leader, you're going to create community leaders, and we can spread like a wildfire. And one of our clients, he was telling me about this, and they're saying, I just discovered what Reignited Men is, and it's kind of like the caveman who discovers how to make fire. And you're the guy that discovered how to make fire. Now you're teaching everybody to make fire. And then all of a sudden, everybody's going to eat meat. And everybody's going to be able to cook. Everybody's going to be able to do this. And this is a scale that you guys are learning that is not only just to change your relationship, but also to change generations to come. And this is why it's so impactful and so powerful. And I was telling you this story about this guy because everybody needs their dragon to slay. Now, Reignited Men is my dragon to slay, to save marriages, to make sure that children do not grow up with, never see their parents divorce again. That's my dragon. And that's what keeps me going every single day. And if I never get paid for the rest of my life, I'll continue doing it. And when you have that, it gives you focus. It gives you a sense of direction. And all of that within itself, it becomes very attractive to your partner because we're goal-oriented people. When you strive to be better, when you strive to go and do, it builds in stuff like scarcity and so on. So like my wife, generally she'll know that when I'm at work, I'm not going to text, I'm not going to be phoning because I'm busy. I'm either speaking to clients, I'm busy researching, I'm either reading. So there's a built-in scarcity. So when I do give her attention, she values it more because I just naturally have that dragon that I need to slay. And then in order for you to do so, you have to let go of yourself, let go of your ego, you have to do things that will build your confidence, which I talked about in the last episode, where you have to be in momentum continuously. And because you're serving people as well, it gives you a sense of fulfillment. If I don't get sex for the next 10 years, I don't give a shit because I'm in my purpose. And this is one of the things that I was thinking about. Is like, when I was listening to this story, I don't know if he's ever got married or got. This guy is so consumed by this mission that it's 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 probably not an issue that nobody's giving him sex. And I know part of you guys are thinking, well, this is a bit weird because just want sex. I don't want to do all of this stuff. I just want to have sex with my partner. And I can guarantee you, anybody that's done anything amazing, that is great, who's had loads of sex, has been somebody who's been passionate, or in fact, irrationally passionate about solving something in the world and making this world a better place. I can guarantee you, if you've got a dragon to slay, then when you become a dragon slayer in your house, definitely you'll be getting laid more. Like I've no doubt that within the weekend, generally 9 times out of 10, it's happening. Because again, like I said, she knows that because I'm so passionate about doing this, and I'm so focused on doing it, and I'm looking forward to making a difference in this world. That passion runs through my whole entire family, my kids, the way we behave, the way I behave, the way I speak, the way I talk, the way I conduct myself, the way I direct myself. When she sees me on the call, when I'm speaking with confidence and imparting into somebody's life and really changing families, you know, and every time we celebrate when we save a family, we save people from divorce, like that. And again, I'm not saying that this is what you need to be doing. What I'm trying to say is that everybody's got their path. Everybody's got something that they need to be doing. In fact, some of you guys have been running away from it for so long, and you know what it is, but you've just been running away from it. I don't know what it is, whether it's that you might need to start teaching that little league team. You might need to take on some more responsibilities at your church. You might be taking on responsibilities in your community. It might be that thing that you're talking about, raising money for children for Christmas presents. Now we're coming up for Christmas presents. Christmas right now. There's people that are not going to be getting Christmas presents. That could be your thing. And it doesn't have to be as massive as Alexander the Great, which is one extreme place. It could be something as simple as really feeding the homeless. My family, we have a privileged life. Let's go and feed the homeless for once. And that in itself is very powerful. So hopefully that's something that you guys can think about, that everybody's got a dragon to slay. And when you can focus on slaying that dragon, it's going to build confidence in you. But more importantly, it sets you on a path where you become extremely attractive to your partner. So I just wanted to encourage you with that. And hopefully that's been something that's encouraging for you guys that you can take on board. Thank you very much, guys, for listening. I'll be seeing you soon. Take care.